Good afternoon to everybody. Today I will discuss on the detail on the climate farmers field school, which is now being organized in different parts of the world, and I will try to give the conceptual ideas of the climate farmer school, how it has is being organized in different places. So, all of you know that in today's agriculture, we are applying as the seeds, fertilizers, and irrigation as per the need and a very optimum level. There is no kind of shortages, but the one factor which is very important, that is the climate. These informations is very much required these days to do farm management, and farmers also want to know the climate variability, weather forecast, so on and so forth, when they are growing the crop. Now, earlier, the traditional knowledge was applied for the benefit of the agriculture, and now these days, these are considered as not enough for doing the agriculture because of climate change and climate variability. Earlier, it was coming in generations after generations. Kind of traditional wisdom, how to start sowing, how to do the what time do the harvesting, and so many other agriculture operations. But now it has been decided that traditional wisdom also has value, but this has to be coupled with the technological advances, so that that can make a better kind of applications in the agricultural front. Now, the weather and climate which are affecting agriculture, all of you know that it starts from the land preparations to even also storage. All the factors, air pollution, soil erosion, pest and disease, then crop growth, animal production, and incidences of pest and disease, and all the extreme events like frost, even also fires. So these are all the weather and climate which is affecting the agriculture. These will be more and more in future, because it has been anticipated because of climate change. Now, what are the major challenges on agriculture in South Asia? There are substantial challenges which was not there in 20 or 30 years back. The first challenge is that how to tackle the climate change and climate variability, to maintain the food security, and availability and stability of utilization of agriculture products. And another is very important, that extreme events such as flood, drought, and in addition to the climate, it has been anticipated that because of the climate change, the flood and drought will be more and more in future. So, and all this, phenomena will be having a major impact on the livelihood of the that depends on climate sensitive activities and also the agriculture productivity. And the number of question is asked these days, about from the farmers, that and they want to know in detail about different informations from different centers, and this has been now from different centers. This information is being provided and also some of the seasonal and informations for livestock and others given to the farmers to manage the better livestock production. And there are centers also which is giving this information from short time to long time to the farmers as per the question. So number of activities are being conducted now to enrich the farmers with the informations. So, and in addition to that, there are different farmers forums are there, farmers awareness programs are there, where also a kind of interactions is being made, and to give different informations on climate change, climate variability, and socio-economic changes. And there, it has been given the farmers that they may act as a guardian for land and environment, and for and they need this has been discussed that they what kind of information they need about the tools governing services. So in the farmers forum, with the different service providers and others discussed in detail with the farmers their expectations, and what exactly the farmers feel, though they require a broad spectrum of informations, but more specific information they need. This is the weather forecast and different temporal scale from 1 day to seasonal condition. Even also they want to know not only the deterministic, what is the probability of happening of the forecast or like that, and also the progressive farmers they also use and they want some kind of very simple software where they can get the information very quickly and very which they can pass on to the other farmers. So so all the knowledge which is been giving along with the forecast from very small scale to large scale and for in a very timely manner they want for cultivation. Now, if you see this kind of diagram, you see that how the ideally the information from the National Meteorological Hydrological Services is ideally should go to the farmers. If this flow of informations make very smooth, then it will be very very easy for the farmers to handle the climate risks in agriculture and small scale agriculture also. Uh, what we can conclude here that for the high preparedness, prior knowledge, and for to reduce the impact of the weather and climate. So there is a need for better resources, better infrastructure, and there is a need for the integrated informations for the agriculture operations. So all this points which I have discussed from the beginning. So this has been addressed in the climate farmer field school, and it has been seen that climate farmer field school is playing a very important role for agriculture production at the farmers level. So there are some initiative have been taken in climate field school in different parts of South Asia, but due to some reasons and others, these no positive results could have been scaled up or achieved. So now again, it has been suggested to organize climate farmer field school to include the farmers into this program directly at the different level, district level, block level, or maybe in the smaller level for different seasonal crop in summer and winter. Now, uh, so what I already mentioned that climate field school is a very important issues under the present condition because it builds the strong relationship between service provider like agriculture department, meteorological department, researchers, and with the farming community. And also we have seen that whatever the research has been done in a very number of institute which could not be percolated into the farmers level. So climate farmers field school may be one of the wings where the research products can be easily available to the farmers in a very simple language. Now, one of the many adaptive efforts, which we are taking about to face the climate change, and also the extreme events. So, primary field school is one of the very important initiative has been taken in different countries. And the most important part is that this climate farmers field school, reduce the gap from the farmer's knowledge and also the service provider knowledge through by conducting different training courses or like that. Usually, in a climate farmer field school, we are taking a three-step approach, which I'll discuss in detail, involving the Ministry of Agriculture, National Meteorological Hydrological Services, then extension officers, and eventually the farmers. So, what are the need? Of the climate farmer school. Um, so, first one that any participatory kind of approach is very fruitful at the district and also village level, and also by direct interactions with the farming community in the field level. This will also help into improve the rural food security, income generations, also empower the farmers to find solution, and also when we go to the village level, the women empowerment, it helps in women empowerment also. So, what is the objective of the climate school? It improves farmer knowledge on weather, climate, and their ability to anticipate extreme events and different kinds of weather anomalies impacting on the farming. And also, it helps to observe the climatic parameters like rainfall, temperature, in so that they can themselves to be involved into the system, and also assisting the farmers to translate to understand weather and climate information for the specific crops they are doing from planting to the harvesting stage. So very basically, what the farmer field schools want to do, very categorically, it minimize the impact of the malevolent and weather and climate, and harnessing the benevolent, that is which is the conducive weather, for growing the plant. So manage the agriculture from pre-sowing to post-harvest. So climate farmer school, when we are doing, so it is not very isolated in the crop phases. It started from land preparations to up to the post-harvest. So, what are the important importance of the climate field school? This what are the climate informations and the products that are generated by the National Meteorological and Hydrological Services. It is not easy for the farmers to understand So during this farmer field school, so it has been translated in a very simple languages, and this has been linked to this with the planting, cultivation, harvesting, and also the involvement of the National Meteorology Services Department of Agriculture as a facilitator and extension worker and the users significantly needed for doing a better agriculture in the present time. Then why CFFS is relevant to agriculture? In earlier days, 20 or 30 years back, I mean, climate weather was relatively systematic. But here, there is a lot of variability. Even also, any minor climatic variation can have a major impact on the agriculture. So that has been addressed in the climate farmer field school. And also long-term agriculture productivity, food security is affected by climate variability. So that is also addressed. Then empowering farmers on weather and climate related issues through advisories. So in this climate farmer schools, we are generating the advisories and disseminate also, and also provides climatic information, weather forecast along with the farm management. Coupled with weather forecast and climate information, it has been translated for farm management options, and also the provide access to dynamic technological developments and weather sensitivity. Like we are earlier developing crop weather calendar, but now we are also preparing dynamic crop weather calendar to understand the farmers uh, kind of weather variations and how to, just like sometimes southwest monsoon is coming early or sometimes it is late. So we are putting these informations into this system so that farmers can understand, they can uh, take the decision of planting, harvesting, whatever maybe. So, what are the exactly the informations they needed, which I mentioned? First, they know this climate variability, local climate variability, where he is cultivating local specific changes in weather climate for last 10 or 20 years. They need different kinds of forecasts, which I mentioned, short range, extended range, seasonal climate prediction. Very important information they want. There is a pest and disease condition and their prognosis, outbreak. This is one of the very important information which has been very many parts of the South Asia. It is lacking now. So, but this climate farmer school, we are giving a special emphasis to forewarn the pest and disease incidents and application of pesticides, fungicides, and also that special kind of arrangement is been made for the livestock and also fisheries. Now, as far as the crop is concerned, we in different kinds of informations are given that what could be the performance crop performance of particular weather and climatic condition, and how they can select the cultivator. Then what could be the optimum time of sowing, then when they have to use the fertilizer and pesticides, and when they are using pesticides, fungicides like that. And also this what are there are two kinds of broad kind of stress has been felt in the agriculture system. One is called biotic and anabiotic and stress. So these are also being addressed into this, and animal health, shelter, feed productivity, crop harvesting, and so many others informations are being shared in this climate farmer field school. So what we are trying in the climate farmer school that we try to blend, this different climate variability, climate change, and with local wisdom, particularly on the early warnings and system, where then possible to the early actions to lead better benefits. And this has been given by the Agromet Advisory Service at the local language and the local level. Now, what are the methodologies we are implementing in farmer field school in South Asia? So I have already mentioned that the three approaches steps are taken in field school. One is then to train the uh, trainers in the agriculture department or national meteorology services, and then in turn they will be the trainer to give training to the extension officers, and ultimately the extension officers will give the training to the farmers. So three levels are very specifically we maintain for in the farmer field school. Now, the fourth stage of this, among the three stages, in the first stage is that we are giving the training to the trainers of the Department of Agriculture who has some kind of knowledge of agriculture. And also in this stage, along with the others, so I have given one example that how they understand what is the characters of rainfall, whether it is low, it is below normal, it is above normal. So all the category has been mentioned, and also they have been given that how this kind of category of rainfall is used, for preparing the advisory. This is I have given only for the rainfall, but this is also possible for um, uh, temperature and so many humidity and so many other meteorological factors. Now, CFS material module, some of the modules here I'm telling you, which has been taken in the training of the trainer of the Department of Agriculture. First is understanding weather and climate characteristic, then simple measurement practices, how they can measure the rainfall, temperature, humidity, then how they can understand the soil moisture by water balance method, and how they can use short, medium, and extended and seasonal forecast in uh, planting and also preparing the calendar, and what could be the economic value of the seasonal forecast and other forecasts, then what kind of actions need to be taken on forewarning of plant disease and pest, and also into impact of climate change on plant, and what could be the anticipatory action, and what are the climate change issues and how they could tackle, and different adaptation and mitigation process. So there are so many other modules. I have just mentioned some of the modules here. So uh, if, I mean, when we are preparing the modules, we prepare some of the guidelines, how the this content will be prepared. There specifically we are putting that weather climate information, weather forecast, advisory for sowing, irrigation, fertilizer, pest and disease, harvesting, extreme weather, because these are the operations which is very crucial uh, for agriculture. So first and foremost, we are giving very detailed kind of practical and theoretical kind of informations, how these parameters and how these actions being taken based on the climate and weather. So I was mentioning some modules here. I have given detailed modules so that uh, they can have a very broad idea of this kind of thing, and so that they can be more knowledgeable. That is why the first stage of CFS is very very important, because ultimately they will be a more knowledgeable persons to give to understand all the climate and agriculture. And once they can understand, then they can pass on to the next level, that is the extension officers. Not very detailed, but they can crystallize this information, and extension officer in turn give a very simple language informations to the farmers, like that. So another, whenever a crop is grown, it is from the land preparations to the post harvest. They are a particular time, and they are experienced particular kind of weather, and also uh, during this time, if there is any aberrations of weather, then what could be the impact on the crop and what needs to be done. That has been mentioned in the crop weather calendar. So a detailed training has been given on the crop weather calendar, where the crop phenophase with the weather and anomalies of the weather and what needs to be done, that has been pictured. And usually 30 years data is taken for preparations of the crop weather calendar. This here I'm giving one example of the crop weather calendar. If you see here in the lower part, it is the month, means is a kharif crop, kharif groundnut is growing in one place. Then the weeks, what are the weeks? It is covering the full plant growth period. Then what are the phenophase of the phenological stages from sowing to harvest mentioned. And upper part you see that we are given different parameters: rainfall, temperature, sunshine, particular week for 30 years average. And also we mentioned that what are the pest and disease is coming at what stage and under what condition, we mentioned. So if this differs from the normal weather, then there is a chance. Even also, what type of weather warning is required at what threshold of this particular uh, weather parameters, that also been mentioned here. So here, detailed information about the crop, weather, pest and disease, everything has been given, and that is very very effectively used in the plant growth. This is called pest weather calendar, where when the pest is occurring, at what stage the pest will be there, what phenophase of the crop it is. Some pest is coming in the vegetative, sometimes it's a grain formation. And in upper side, if you see all the normal weather of different meteorological parameters given, and up, uppermost part, we have put that under what condition a particular pest will be coming. So, and based on this, how pesticides and fungicides can be spraying can be advised. Next is very important that we are giving a detailed information that of the crop and their sensitivity to other parameters. So this is for rice. We have given, if you see that uh, how what kind of temperature it can tolerate, and what is the optimum temperature for flowering, grain formations. If it is not optimum in a particular time, then what needs to be done, and which we are giving through no advisory. Similarly, for sunshine hours, then rainfall is given. So from there, they can get an idea that how the prevailing weather is impacting favorably or unfavorably. Similarly, we have given for the pest, just like yellow stem borer. For rice, we have mentioned that what are the climatic parameters is required for infestation, and if it is there, what kind of pesticides are used to be added uh, to control a particular pest or something like that. So, and also we are showing sometimes manually also if any close observatory is there. So we are taking the farmers, so the extension officers or the trainers to see that how all the parameters are recorded, and once recorded how they are adapted and how they are sending the different organizations. So you see here, there are number of different types of observatories are there where the meteorological parameters are recorded at different time intervals and plot on the charts. Similarly, automatic weather stations, where all the parameters have been recorded automatically. That is also being used uh, in agriculture. That we explain them how this can be recorded, how this can be disseminated. So this is a short-term forecast. I means 3 days, next 3 days. Then the seasonal climatic informations, that is for monsoon season or pre-monsoon season. Then remote sensing, from satellite, we are getting different informations called NDVI, TCI, like that. How we are getting a very small area and how these have been used for different purposes of agriculture planning. And you see that we whenever we do this climate field school, I mentioned that different levels will be there. So here, though the director department of agriculture is the main organizations, but they are also combine their activity with the different institutes so that they can get more informations from the authentic sources, which will be help them to prepare and also to prepare the adversaries and for the crop management. So we are also mentioning that how the institutional linkage has been made in different countries, so that they can understand that how the information is flowing. Even also how the messages they can get from different sources. This is one of the sources from uh, I mean, we are making some WhatsApp group or some SMS service there. We are sending to the when the means climate farmer school is over. They can get these informations by different means. And what are the climate and weather informations is given by the meteorological department of particular country. Here we have mentioned that they are putting this information into their area. Once this has been validated by a quality check, then they are giving to the Department of Agriculture, and the Indian Department of Agriculture will use this information to prepare different kinds of advisories, and then once they'll be prepared, they'll put giving to the extension officers or by different means to the farming community. So this is, we have mentioned that what are the responsibility of meteorological department to give the information to the farming community, and what are the informations they are giving. And particularly this information will be very, very important when there is a sudden heavy rainfall, sudden drought, and sudden flood. That time, this information is very, very important so that farmers can take very appropriate measures for uh, controlling or preventing the loss of the crop. This is the flood in a particular place, and this is the cold wave. Sometimes cold wave is damaging crop very substantially. Then when the cold wave, what needs to be done? Similarly, the heat wave. When the heat wave is done, we can forecast the heat wave and what are the remedies to be taken. So all the information has been discussed in the training program of the district agriculture officers, and and also some parts of this information in a not in very detailed form is given to the extension officers, because both should be knowledgeable, then only they can pass on to the farming community. So, and also heat wave, sometimes we are telling heat wave, sometimes we are telling severe heat wave. So the kind of measures to be taken, heat wave and severe heat wave will be different. So and there is a categories are there when we call it a severe heat wave or heat wave, it has been mentioned here. Similarly, cold wave, we mentioned that when the cold wave is declared, at what particular temperature, and so these are all the job of the meteorological department, and meteorological department uh, is giving this kind of information based on this kind of criteria. So even also whenever we are telling that rain, if say if sometime meteorological department is saying light rain means 1 to 10 millimeter, moderate 11 to 20 millimeter per day. Even also, if we said that one or two places means 1 to 25% of the area, they will get the rain. Similarly, few places 26 to 50%. So from this idea, the kind of measures have been taken, actions has been taken in the agriculture field. Very important is the thunderstorm lighting, which is very difficult to predict because this is happening in the 3 to 6 hours. But number of countries they are doing, and this information is required to save the livestock and also the farmers. So frost is very important. Sometimes the frost, in the winter time, a very large area they infesting. So when the frost is coming, what are the minimum kind of measures can be taken? That also been advised to farmers. Tropical cyclones, sometimes cyclones are coming in a very severe form. So that time, we are giving the information which part of the country it will be coming, what speed will be there, and what are the measures. Just like, if the crop in the harvesting, so immediately we said that within 2 to 3 days they should harvest all and stored in the safe area. Similarly, you see how the cyclone has damaged the banana. So we are telling that you put that bamboo stick and put so that tightly bind it so that they should not be damaged or minimum damage will be there. So this is the thing which I mentioned that when thunderstorm is there, sometime lightning and so lot of damage can be done. Similarly, we are telling that when the monsoon is onset, because with the onset of monsoon, different activities have started, particularly transplanting, sowing of the kharif crops. And in the second stage, this is all the first stage I mentioned, that we are made the officers, scientists in the Department of Agriculture knowledgeable what is possible, by because they are having agricultural background, and they will be given that agrometeorological informations by the different experts and from the agriculture department and the meteorological department. In the second stage, the extension officers, then the who are being trained in the first stage, they will be the trainer in the second stage, and they will train the extension officers, and this things is done in the usually whether 4 to 5 days. In that, basically the training has been given to how to translate the climate information, designing dissemination format, providing simple technique to understand climate and climate variability, and and also the and how they will directly interact with the farmers with all this information. And in the second stage also, the extensions officer have been given special training how to measure, the meteorological parameters, and also how they can take the onset of monsoon, about the planting, and also different agriculture practices, and also the how they can organize the farmers awareness program to educate the farmers. So this is actually the kind of mechanisms need to be taken uh, to go to the from the district agriculture officers to the farmers, and which fully covered in the climate farmer field school. So third stage is very very important, because you will be dealing with the farmers, and whatever the knowledge you are getting in the first stage and second stage, that has to be given to the farmers in a very simplistic way, so that they can understand, they can trust, and they can apply, and ultimately they can be benefited by this. So this is a most important part, because whenever in the first and second stage, the officers, the extension officers, they are educated persons and they can understand. But in the third stage, farmers, they may be literate or maybe non-literate, but a kind of system should be created here, that they can understand, they can, and also they can prepare a community kind of services onto that. Then in this third stage, these informations are given by the extension officers from what are happening from uh, planting to the post harvest. It may be flood, it may be drought, it may be dense fog, dew, lightning, then high humidity incidents, every all informations, you I mean here, informations will be, because one of the uh, weather informations may be very very devastating, may totally damage the crop. So all the informations at the particular time, it should be given, so that they can save, they can utilize these informations. And now, uh, I mean, we have given that here, that what the information should be given. Now here we are telling, whenever you get this information, what need to be done. I mean, see, whether you have to raise the barn, whether you have to irrigate, or you have to resow the crops. So all informations are given by the extension officers to the farmers, and the extension officers get the informations also from the Department of Agriculture. Then this is the kind of informations under the cold conditions. I will not go detail of it, you can see afterwards. But here, all the measures has been given how to protect a crop from. Just given an example that covered the fruit plants with straw, polythene sheet, gunny bags, or you can use the shelter beds, to protect the cold. Then heat wave also. Once the heat wave also given, then we are giving number of something mulching, giving frequent water, and so on and so forth. And flat condition, so we provide that you have to provide clean drinking water to animals, uh, and use the submergence tolerant varieties, when the flood prone areas. So number of informations we are given to the farmers to do this. And drought is very very important, because their soil moisture will very very less. And so we are giving different informations, anticipatory action, so that one important is that the irrigate the critical stage of the crop, or use drought resistant crops, cultivators, so many things. And thunderstorm and lightning, which I have mentioned, that once they have been issued within 3 to 6 hours, then the number of informations are given to the farmers, particularly the animals, and also for the seedlings and others. So some of the examples, I have given here, that I mean, what the rainfall status of last couple of days, and what would be the forecast, and what they'll be doing. So you see here, we have given different forecast, medium range forecast, extended forecast. Here I've given some example that we have put that some rainfall is there, some rainfall has been forecast. So on that basis, farmers are advised to wait for sufficient rainfall to undertake sowing. Means under this kind of rainfall situation, if they sow, that will not be very conducive for agriculture. Similarly, we have given so many other where they give irrigation, where and also where they will be applying fertilizers. You can see this that how this has been prepared, and this information is given through kind of very simple advisories to the farmers at the third stage. Similarly, some logics are there where the Department of Agriculture trainers and extension office, they may be very very familiar, and once they get this kind of logic, so they can uh, decide what information should be given to the farmers. And full climate farmer field school is usually 2 3 4 months, which is coinciding with the crop period, and there, we have divided that what how many days the meetings will be there, how many days they will be in the field, and so I know how many days the training will be there. So this is a 3 to 4 months program where all the activities are performed. And when what I mentioned earlier, I just mentioned very uh, categorically that 3 4 months, this participant phase two, the extension workers share the knowledge with the others, okay, and the farmers who participated three stage three can take advantage of climate influence service and apply in their farming activities. So these are the follow up of CFS, and feedback is very very important, because most of the creativity of the farmer face could depends on the feedback. So uh, we are taking pre-test and post-test kind of feedback, and we understand that whether they at all benefited by this kind of farmer field school. And So direct kind of interactions are being made there. And what I mentioned in the beginning, that it is in a participatory approach. Because of this participatory approach, these farmers are become more self-reliant in doing the weather and climate issues to increase their farm level activities and production, and taking that agronomist services. And the three levels, national metro, and also the agriculture and the farmers and farming community, this kind of participation is made very very useful. And sometimes, during the farmer field school, the other days where interactions are not there, put this blackboard and put these informations at the village, that what are the weather information, what they need to do, like that, then the community can come and see. Similarly, we sometimes it is used community radio. To community radio in the total dialects has been uh, broadcasted, to the farmers, so that they can get the information. So in different, ways, the farmers get making more knowledgeable. And here also some of the, kiosks, where the farmers may come directly and to seeing their plant or something like that, they can be advised what need to be done. And sometimes, it has been put to the radio, because farmers are mostly there in the field during the daytime, so they may not. So we have put some kind of radio broadcasting, so that they can hear what need to be done. Suppose if 3 to 4 hours some thunderstorm lightning will be coming, no, so immediately this are used by the radio system also. Even also to make the farmers more knowledgeable, during 3 months, so many demonstrations have been given by putting the posters of what are the content modules you have seen, no? That has been given. Some film shows are also given in the local languages. Even also they, when time permits and nearby some observatories are there, they were taken to the observatories to see that how this national meteorological organizations is working. And sometime, some kind of film also showed on the in the field in maybe the evening time, to know that how a successful farmer can do better crop productions. Sometimes, we put some digital board, where the informations are given very visually. That suppose this is a given when cold wave is coming, then the farmers are advised to put the plastic sheet, so that cold wave should not touch. And sometimes they are invited in the farmers club, and sometimes farmers awareness programs have been done uh, during the farmer field school. And so many exhibitions have been given. And so in the whenever we do the farmer field school, if possible we do in between farm field school field visits, farmers club, inviting them. So what are the exactly the benefit? The benefit is immense. Because once they get this information, first this quality and quantity of the produce will be increased. Then they can utilize the resources very meticulously. And they can minimize the impact of adverse weather, and they can effectively utilize the favorable weather. Very important. And reducing the cost of cultivation and achieve enhance and sustain profit. So what are the outcome of CFS? So involvement of intermediaries, that means the extension officers that understand both climate information and the farmers need, is very very crucial. and farmers can easily learn how to use climate informations, through by very simple language by the intermediaries. And also farmers can share their opinion, maybe negative and positive opinion, which leads to new way and how to climate information to regulate the pest and disease, and how they can disseminate this knowledge among the farmers, because I showed how it can be scaled. So there are every activities have some limitations. So here limitations are also there. It is a time consuming, 3 to 4 months, cost intensive process. But whenever the large masses of farmers will utilize, then this cost may not be much of the factors. Then women involvement are usually already mentioned that, uh, and lot of preparations on the plant of facilitator requires trained facilitators, because those who will be giving the extension officers or the DO, they should be well trained. And every farmers cannot be given this climate period school. So we need 20, at least 20, 25 farmers to be trained, and we have to reach and facilitate ability to enable farmers also, to enable farmers to do some very effective work. There are a number of challenges are there. Ones that in the three steps, the coordination should be good. Otherwise, it won't work. Then the scaling up, national policy and state policy should be there to facilitate this kind of approach. And also, I mean, there should be good package will be there where traditional way of farming can be coupled with the new technologies to get the better access. And another challenge is that multi-institutional kind of collaboration is very, very required. Um, and what I mentioned in the beginning, that climate field school should not be limited to only the crops of farmers who doing crops cultivation. It should also extend it to fisheries, also, and also the livestock. So how we can scale up, this kind of thing, because we this climate field school cannot be done in all the districts or villages. So once we do, then they can be scaled up like that, and ultimately it could reaches to the at the village level, which is very, very required. Uh, then, what are the lesson learned from field school, which is very, very important? Um Here, one simple lesson conducted was to how to measure the amount of rainfall by using simple technology. Um and participants also learn from real experience in the field that weather climate change do not affect plant growth, but also influence the development of pest and plant diseases. And in Indonesia, this is a very, very successful event. Even their government is uh, encourage, and it has been seen that their agriculture productivity has changed a lot because of the successful implementation of the farmer school in throughout the country. A number of farmers have been trained in this kind of farmers field school. So here I have given that how the farmer field school, what kind of information is been provided in the farmer field school in Indonesia. particularly in the drought or dry season harvesting like that, and wet season planting, how this information, how this has been percolated to the farmers in Indonesia. And this is the performance, in Indonesia about this climate field school, before the climate farmer school and after doing the farmer school. You see the red portion is the before, and blue portion is the after. How it has been totally changed the agriculture system in Indonesia. So number of informations and lessons we have learned in Indonesia. I have given that involvement of intermediaries and understand the climate information and how the farmers can easily learn the climate information experimental way, how they develop effective method of communicating climate forecast. So number of things, let's say, has been learned from that Indonesian example. And this is activities of climate field school in Asia Pacific also, where in 2014 and after that also different kinds of uh, uh, initiative has been taken about the climate school, and it has been seen that how it has been affected the agriculture pattern. And this is a kind of climate service is a part of the integral uh, climate field farmer field school now has been integrated into climate service of WMO and others international organizations. So this is among others activity. Now climate farmer field school is a very important activity about the climate service. And this compliance with the global framework climate service principles also. WMO has given global framework of climate service. So what are the objective and what are the achieve and what we are uh, going to achieve through farmer school, that is a part of this global framework of climate service. So, and in this global framework, climate service as by WMO has acknowledged this is the way how the user interface and observing system and capacity building they can be acting together. So in this, climate farmer field school is also have a very important role as far the user interface is concerned. So that is BKMG, like other national metro hydro services, focus on technical issues through which is produced. Uh, so based on the accumulated experience and dialogue with the end users, BKMG has realized that much information produced is lacking clarity, clues, properly addressed and answered to end users, and further interpretation is needed for the special end user based technical climate information, particularly for operational purpose. So GFCS Global Framework aims to address all these issues very scientifically, and it has been inferred that climate farmer field school will be able to tackle very underlying problem in a very cleaner and understandable climate information if it has been provided. So CFS Climate Farmer Field School have now what I mentioned in integrated in GFCS activities of the World Meteorological Organizations, which has been acting in different countries of the world, and this has been put into the in consultation with the Ministry of Agriculture, different countries, and now uh, this has been integrated into the third and fourth pillar of GFCS. That means what I want to mean that climate farmer school, which has been started very primitive kind of idea how to face this climatic risks and how to use the climate informations into the agriculture. But now it is in a very bigger front. It has been used, integrated so that throughout the world GFCS is working, and we will be expecting that climate fields will be acting into that. So with this, I will stop it here, and I think that this kind of approaches in South uh, Asia will be highly beneficial.